Hey, so today we're going to talk about emotional regulation. Now, before we get started, I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. My name is Coach Dominique. I am an intuitive and embodiment coach. Here at Living Embodied, I teach and I offer a sacred space for women to embrace, embody, empower, emerge into, and express their deepest essence of who they are, of who you are. Now, if you're feeling called to, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on your notifications to follow more of my content. Now, what is emotional regulation? What is that exactly? Well, emotional regulation is our ability to manage our emotions and to be able to witness our emotions without being consumed by our emotions. It's our ability to create space, um, to establish some type of emotional safety when challenging emotions is online. Now, what are some examples of emotional regulation? And just to name a few, um, self-soothing can be a form of emotional regulation. Finding something that is pleasurable, that brings you joy in the midst of a challenged emotion. So it can be something such as, rubbing your hands together if that brings you pleasure, holding yourself if that calms you and brings you pleasure and ease. It can be smelling your favorite scent, just going outside, putting your feet down on the ground, anything that you have access in that moment that can soothe yourself, such as speaking highly and positively over yourself. That is a form of soothing yourself. You can also co-regulate with others, such as possibly going in for an embrace, a hug, having someone speak highly of you or talk you through experiencing that challenging emotion, right? And so, what would it look like when unregulated emotions is online? And that tends to disconnect us. That can cause us to disassociate from ourselves, disassociate from the world. We can experience a lack of trust. It can throw us in a defensive state and bring a lot of anxiousness. We can become overwhelmed. It just can keep us in a trauma loop, right? And that's where unregulated emotions usually stem from. It stems from some type of trauma, some type of stressful experience that have impacted our emotional body. And our emotional body have kept memory of these things. And so when emotions go unregulated or you just have a inability to regulate your emotions, usually it's because your trauma and the stressful experiences is calling the shots. And with these unregulated emotions and um, trauma memories and stressful memories within your emotional body, when it's calling the shot, it's keeping us in a survival state of mind. It's keeping those survival instincts at reach at all times. And so when we're facing a challenging experience, we immediately react in a way where we feel like we have to defend ourselves or protect ourselves. Um, and that can really impact the way that we move through the world, the way that we manifest the things that we desire. Um, it really can impact your connections and your relationships, and just your overall view of yourself. It can impact, the way that you believe in yourself, and how we believe in ourselves is an essential part of how we evolve and how we transform into who we were born to be. And so unregulated emotions just can keep us stuck and stagnant, and no progress is really coming from a place of staying in survival, allowing those unregulated emotions to run the show. And so usually the way that we regulate our emotions, it stems from our early childhood. It comes from our primary caregivers, our mothers, how we witness them regulate their emotions, and that how they taught us how to regulate our emotions. And this usually happens in the first 7 years of our life. And so if you just sit back and witness yourself and maybe a couple other people, throughout the generations, you may see some patterns of how you respond to stressful events, and how you have had the ability to evolve and alchemize adversity in your life, and how you've been able to pull value from challenging experiences, knowing that they ultimately serve as lessons. Or you may have noticed how you have become stuck. You have lost your fire to see the world in a way that is just revolutionizing the things that we've experienced in the past. And if you see a pattern that you see amongst your ancestors or amongst generations, it does not mean that you cannot start right now to change that, to learn how to regulate your emotions, to choose to find a way to get value from your challenging experiences. And so if you are finding any of this resonating with you, then I invite you to, again, subscribe to my channel. I will be posting more videos surrounding emotional regulation practices and exercises on how you can implement something that is soothing in the moment of a stressful event, outburst, or a reaction. The next video I post will be a mini series of different ways that we can soothe ourselves, different ways that we can witness those emotions and see what is it teaching us, or what stories is it telling us that still live within our bodies. So if you have enjoyed this content, again, I invite you to subscribe, turn on those notifications, and I will see you next time.